Welcome back. In this video, we will discuss about the phylum Cnidaria. So before that, we have to know why the animals present in this phylum are called as Cnidarians. And here another name for the Cnidaria is also Coelenterata. So we will see why the name came like this. That means it is due to the presence of specialized cells. Due to the presence of specialized cells called as cnidocytes or cnidoblasts. Due to the presence of these type of cells in these animals, we are calling the group of animals under phylum Cnidaria. That's why the name Cnidaria came. So these cells are present on the tentacles. These cells are present on the tentacles of an organism. For example, the organism is like this, and here they are having hair-like structures. So on the hair-like structures, these cnidocytes are present. These cnidocytes are helpful for defense, anchorage, that means to hold a grip, to hold an substratum, that means a rock or another animal surface, and for capturing the prey. For these functions, the cnidocytes are very helpful. Okay, that's why the presence of cnidocytes, we are calling those animals under Cnidarians. Okay. Now, why we are calling these animals as Coelenterata? That means, as we know that the diploblastic organization, that means presence of two germinal layers, that means ectoderm and endoderm. So the animal, for example, this is a typical Cnidarian, and the outer layer is ectoderm, and the inner layer like in poriferans, the inner layer is endoderm, and in between ectoderm and endoderm in Cnidarians we have a space. Sometimes this space is filled with some types of cells, or sometimes it will be a space only, no cells will be there. So here there are different classifications already made in the phylum Cnidarian. So some classes have some types of cells and some classes do not have cells, and the space itself remains as a space. So this space is known as mesoglia. The space is mesoglia. That is the space between ectoderm and endoderm in Cnidarians. But what is mesohyle? Mesohyle is a space or gel-like material between outer pinacoderm and inner coenoderm in poriferans. So this difference we have to observe between the mesohyle and mesoglia. Here already I told that sometimes this space is filled with some types of cells. So from where those cells are coming? Those are not a new cells. Those are a modified cells which are coming either from this ectoderm or from this endoderm. So these are not a new cells or new types of cells. These are the modified cells which can either derive from this ectoderm or derive from this endoderm. So this is about the cellular organization or the tissue level organization present in the Cnidarians. Now, what is a coelenteron? Coelenteron is nothing but a cavity. So here the space here is a coelenteron. It is also known as gastrovascular cavity. That means the name itself indicates here that this cavity is helpful for gastro, that means digestion, and vascular, that means circulation. So here the cavity plays an important role for digestion and circulation in these animals. So here we will discuss in detail in the general characters. So due to the presence of this cavity named Coelentron, we are calling this phylum is also by the name Coelenterata. So this is how the names are coming from. And now moving to the next concept, these animals present in the Cnidaria has two types of body forms. That means in the life cycle, one organism in its life cycle, for example, some group having two body forms, one group having only one, and one group having only one. So there are three types of variations are there. Some group having both the body forms in their life cycle, and some group having only one form, and some group having only one form. So what are those forms? When coming to this, those forms are polyp and medusa. These are two different types of body forms, polyp and medusa. For example, if you observe this category, in the life cycle, the animal itself changes into two body forms. For example, if it is started its life cycle with polyp, it is entered into the medusa, and again it is coming from the medusa to polyp. So this alternation of generations, same organism in its life cycle, it is altering its body forms. So this alternation of generations is we are calling as metagenesis. This term is very important for the NEET exam, metagenesis. That means alternation of its body form in its life cycle. Polyp to medusa, medusa to polyp. How it is changing? For example, here it is an organism. First of all, it is in the polyp stage. It is a asexual stage and undergoes asexual reproduction, and it is turned into medusa. And medusa again undergoes sexual reproduction and turns into polyp. Understanding? So here these are the minute differences between the polyp form and medusa form. That means the polyp stage, if the organism in polyp stage, it cannot move. It fixed to a place and it is continuing its life cycle. So that is known as sessile form. And here medusa, it is free swimming organism. It can swim. And the body form, the polyp body form is in cylindrical shape. And here the medusa body form is umbrella shape. And the polyp is in asexual form and undergoes asexual reproduction and turns into medusa. And medusa is a sexual form and undergoes sexual reproduction and results into polyp. So the organisms which are having only the polyp form in their life cycle is Hydra, Adamsia, etc. And the organism which is having only one medusa form in its life cycle is Aurelia, that is jellyfish. Understanding? But the exception is there. The organism which is having both the life cycles in its, both the body form in its life cycle is Obelia. So Obelia is an example for metagenesis. So they can ask which of the following organisms exhibit metagenesis. They can give in the options Hydra, Adamsia, Aurelia and Obelia. So metagenesis means two forms should be there in the life cycle. So the perfect answer is Obelia. So these are the special characters present in the Cnidarians. Okay. Now, if we are moving to the, as we discussed in the Poriferan phylum, here also we will discuss like that in the same manner. First of all, what is the meaning of how the name Cnidaria came? Because due to the presence of cnidocytes. And what is the significance? Already we discussed. These are the first eumetazoans. Eumetazoan means having the true tissues. So that's why these are the first eumetazoans. And habitat. Mostly they are present in the marine, but exception is there. That is the animals like Hydra. They are present in the fresh waters. And another character, that is symmetry. From here only the phenomena of symmetry arises, because porifera does not show any symmetry. Those are asymmetrical, and here it is having the radial symmetry, and that too in particular they are exhibiting biradial symmetry. That means the animal can be cut into two equal halves by two planes. In any plane, like this plane or this plane, if you cut the animal, it will divide into two equal halves. And the levels of organization, it is exhibiting the tissue level, and the porifera is exhibiting cellular level. And here, number of germ layers. From here only the diploblastic level is started. That means having ectoderm and endoderm. And here there is no concept of segmentation, that is absent. And digestion, it is exhibiting both extracellular and intracellular digestions. So what is extracellular? If the digestion happens in the coelentron that we discussed earlier, the cavity, so that digestion is known as extracellular. And here the intracellular digestion, that means the nutritive muscle layers of the endoderm, like in the poriferans. In poriferans, what happened? The digestion is intracellular, that means happening inside the cell. But here the additional character is extracellular due to the presence of coelentron. Okay, and here the respiration, circulation and excretion, all these three systems in the cnidarian body will be executed by the process of simple diffusion, high concentration to low concentration. And nervous system here, nervous system in the poriferans it is absent, but here it is slightly developed. So here I mentioned the primitive type, that means it is developing just now. That means from nervous system is started developing from the cnidaria, and it is having diffused nerve net. The nerve net is, the nerves are arranged like this, like a net. So this is the primitive type of nervous system. And here if you are going to observe, the sense organs are developed. In poriferans, nervous system is absent. That's why sense organs are also absent. But here nervous system is slightly developed. So we are having the sense organs, very important. Those are statocysts. These are only present in the medulla form, but absent in the polyp form. So we have to observe very carefully. The statocysts are present in the medusoid forms. And sense organs also, there is a chance for asking in the main exam, because we have different phylums. In different phylums there are different types of sense organs. So sense organs are at one column, and the examples are the phylum they can ask at the other side. So we have to match. So very important, the animal kingdom, whatever they can ask, there are so many questions, there are so many medium range to very difficult range questions are also there. So we have to understand the chapter very clearly, and we have to follow the notes and textbooks. And in NCERT, I want to tell you something. In NCERT, they didn't discuss this much deeper, but in exams, we are observing somewhat difficult questions. So I think these videos will be very helpful, because I am covering almost 99% of all the state board syllabus and along with the NCERT. So if you are watching these videos, you can note down whatever you want, and the remaining you can omit. But my suggestion is that each and every point, whatever I am discussing in these videos, is very, very important for your exams. Because sometimes they are asking more than the NCERT level. So these videos will be helpful for you. Okay. And here, sense organs is statocysts, and sexuality. That means unisexual or bisexual. That means in some animals, the males and females are separate. That is unisexual. And in some animals, both male and female sex hormones are present in the same animal. So that is bisexual. And the reproduction, these are also exhibiting both sexual and asexual form of reproduction. And sexual form, there will be involving of gametes and formation of zygote. And in the asexual forms, it may be budding, or it may be fission, or it may be fragmentation. And fertilization. Fertilization is external. That means the male gamete and female gamete will be released into the water, and in water they will fuse together and form the zygote. So it is not an internal like poriferans. Okay. So why you have to observe one thing. Every time I am comparing with the porifera. After finishing this chapter, I will compare the new phylum with these two already done, Cnidaria and Porifera, like that. So comparison is very important and very funda for studying this one animal kingdom. Okay, and the development is indirect. That means some larval stages will be involved in the life cycle. So what is that larval stage? Again, the planular larva, very important. The larval stages and its examples, and special characters and its examples, and sense organs and its examples. So these are the general characters present in the phylum Cnidaria. And we will see the classification. We will see the classification. Now we will discuss the classification of Cnidaria. On what basis the Cnidarians are classified? The Cnidaria is broadly classified into three classes: Hydrozoa, Scyphozoa and Anthozoa. So what are the differences between these three classes? So here, first of all, they have taken into consideration of Mesoglea, Coelenteron, Cnidocytes, germ cells and body forms. So here, Mesoglea, the space between ectoderm and endoderm, here it is non-cellular, that is only space. And here in Scyphozoa, the mesoglea is filled with cells called as amoebocytes. Very important. It is filled with the cells amoebocytes. And here it is having the connective tissue. That mesoglea space is filled with the connective tissue. And coelenteron, that is body cavity. Here yes, a long cylindrical cavity, undivided. But here the cavity is divided into 4 chambers. And here the cavity is divided into 7 compartments. Like a septa, that means a wall-like structures called as mesenteries. And here cnidocytes, the main important cells present. So due to presence of these cells only, it is getting the name Cnidaria. So here the cnidocytes are present only on ectoderm. Here and there, the cnidocytes are present on both ectoderm and endoderm. And here germ cells, that means the cells which are involved in reproduction from where the gametes are formed, those are called as germ cells. Here the germ cells are present in ectoderm, and here and there the germ cells are present in endoderm. And forms, body forms, as we discussed, the polyp and medusa forms. So here both polyp and medusa form will be seen in these animals, hydrozoan animals. And here medusa only, and here polyp only. So on these bases they are classified again the Cnidarians into 3 different classes. And examples and common names very important. Hydra, common name is freshwater polyp. Obelia, common name sea fur, FUR fur. Physalia, Portuguese man of war. Physalia means Portuguese man of war, its common name. And Aurelia, here in the Scyphozoa, it is jellyfish. We can see in the National Geographic Channel, Discovery Channel, we are seeing those jellies. So those are known as Aurelia and Rhizostoma. And here coming to anthozoans, the examples are Adamsia, that is sea anemone, Corallium rubrum, that is red stone corals. Coral stones we can see. It is using as in ornamentals, red coral. So among the 9 different ratnas, so this is also one ratna, that is coral, red coral. For example, diamond and pearl, like that, 9 different stones are there. So among those stones, it is also one, that is red corals. And Gorgonia, sea fan, and Pennacula, sea pen. So these are the common names and these are the examples. So like this, we finished this chapter, that is phylum Cnidaria, that's special characters, general characters, classification and examples. This animal kingdom is very important for the exam. They can ask medium to toughest questions also. So like this manner, in the next videos we will continue the other phylums also. Thank you so much.